then, do any of you talk about the sustainability development goals in your programs? The 17? Yes? I was glad to see that on your list. Do any of you talk about not just knowledge and skills, but wisdom? You talked about the Gandhian, beautiful, keep going. Okay, now, they gave me 10 minutes. I wish I had an hour. But if I may, in terms of sustainability, is there any urgency in terms of facing the sustainability issues? Yes, no? How much urgency? A lot, okay. Yes. What's happening now is that we are in a profound transition from the industrial model and the industrial model and the way of thinking. And all of our educational experience has been industrial. The digitization of business is so fast and profound. How many of you have courses in the Internet of Things? How many of you have courses in big data? My friends, that scares me to death. You're not with it, because that's going to change the business dynamics profoundly. It's changing the shape of our companies. No longer a brick wall company here with a supplier and customers. We are connecting in ways we never realized. And I will share 2 articles with you from Michael Porter, who, as you know, is Mr. Systems Business Strategy in Harvard Business School, with the president of PTC, where they're rethinking the business model. And what you said about letting the books go, hard books are terribly out of date. When I teach a course, I basically say to my students, I want you to understand the latest. I want you to learn how to do research yourself. And I put them through that. And I just came from 2 weeks in Bangalore, and I just came from 3 weeks in Saudi Arabia in a woman's MBA course in Jeddah. And we were able to do things there that I didn't think was possible. These women are bright, they were creative, they created English words I've never seen before. And I'll show you one of them. So, I want to welcome your efforts, but I want to say we have an urgency that you can't believe. First of all, if you can see it, if you'll look at the CO2 emissions since 1751, they went pretty flat until about the 1950s, and then they've just been climbing sky high. And I don't know if any of you talk about the carbon budget in your courses, but the question from COP21 in Paris in December is, we absolutely have to stay under 2 degrees centigrade, but how are we going to do it? Are any of you already designing courses in what the low-carbon economy would look like? That, it's not just teaching management skills. We have to be creative in a way we've never been creative before. And there's so much wisdom in India, especially in the older days. My real heroes, educational heroes, are still the Rishis. I've learned so much from them that they have upgraded my way of thinking, and I'll explain that a little bit more. So, interest in other selves. It's not, do you value me? How do I value you? How do I value you? That brings us to the sense of community. How do we, our industrial era is devaluing. We add value to matter, and people do not matter, unfortunately. So how do we go to valuing one another in nature? We don't value nature. Discipline and go expression so you find out who you are as an individual, and co-creativity. I don't know if you folks use co-creativity, but it's not me being creative, it's us together being creative. So our language needs to change. How do we go from the boxes and lines to the Venn diagram, the overlapping? How do we go from just money to money and meaning? How do we bring a sense of meaning and purpose into what we're doing? Rather than telling, how do you teach with questions? The students are asked questions, but do we ever teach them how to ask questions? Do we ever awaken their curiosity? It pains me to stand in class, and there are no questions that challenge me. There are no questions that say, what do you mean? They just sit there passively, like empty shells. And it scares me. You need to inspire these young people in ways, and boy, I struggle with it, and I struggled with it last 2 weeks. How do we go from looking at what we know to what we don't know, in inviting them to think about it? You mentioned accounting. Please look at the blockchain technology that's developing. It's under Bitcoin. That may change the very dynamics of double entry bookkeeping. So if any of you are in finance, please study and do research on what that would mean in ownership, property management, and so forth. Blockchain. Please write that. We'll talk about that in a minute. And can our educational system move into not entrepreneur, but ecopreneur? And my vision is that if you want to increase your students, there are all these people working in the companies that have old knowledge, that need upgrading. Why can't your centers become centers of reflection, where you invite working people in industry, in government, and students to work together on pressing challenges so that you could fill up your many more places? It's beyond where you were there. But that's what we need. The institutions are centers of reflection and co-creation for the future, where it becomes real things. So as I'm working, your experience, I'm just learning, I learn together with you. I share some of my research with you. Friends, the ego and the self, dwell in the same body. The former eats the sweet and sour fruits of the tree of life, while the latter looks on in detachment. My friends, our MBA programs are for the ego. You work hard, study hard, you get good grades, you get a good job, you'll be able to accumulate a lot of things. You'll have a beautiful wife, a beautiful handsome husband, so on. Where is the self in our education model? That, if we don't capture that, unfortunately, we won't make it into the next era. We are too short-sighted. And then, what I find fascinating is that your own symbol, most people recognize it, but it has a powerful message in it. This is my everyday life. This is my ego. This is what we educate. I'm bringing those into my teaching. I brought them into my teaching in Jeddah with the Muslims. I didn't talk about it, but because I understood it, I could ask them questions. So that's my wish, and there is a program called Wise India, which is Women in Science and Engineering. A friend of mine, Subhash Sharma from the Indus Business Academy in Bangalore, put that together. But I couldn't find anything more about Wise India. So could you, in the changes, bring in wisdom, digitization, and sustainability with a sense of urgency that you never realized? Thank you very much.